We've been doing over 20 million a year for the last couple of years.
Got your girl calling me baby. Wetter than sail in the Navy. Ooh, bitch, I'm Mercedes. 100K on the daily. So copper, I make it rainy. I don't hang out with the broke and the lazy. All that.
Boys and girls, men and women, welcome to Orange County. Right now, we're actually in front of Self-Made. This is my boys' gym. Shout out to Armand. God bless. Right now, we're actually gonna meet with Kris the Shark. Growing up, this dude had no money, bro. He was poor. Wanted to make money for his family. Dropped out of high school, 9th grade, literally has no diploma, no degree. Turned his life around. Now makes millions. Just bought a new yacht. We're actually gonna go link up with him, get a yacht tour, pick his brain. He's gonna drop game, tell us how he started from ground zero. Maybe some of you guys are high school dropouts, I don't know. But this video right here, especially with Kris, you're gonna get something out of this. Also guys, if you're really serious about leveling up, like you're legitimately serious about leveling up, like you really wanna elevate, but you're going through some, you know, you're stuck in life, you're depressed, or you're just at a job that you really hate, but you want to excel to the next level, DM me, bro. Send me a DM on IG at SnewJ. Do it right now, let's go. Guys, look at this. This is crazy. What's up? Yo. This you?
This is me.
You just got this, huh?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Pleasure,
Good to see you.
pleasure.
I just put a body kit. Forged carbon whips. You
Likewise, thanks for coming out, bro.
Of course, this is Kris the Shark.
Hey, what's up?
What do you do, man? Because like you just bought this. How much is this yacht?
Little over 2 million.
2 million. Okay, so what do you do for work?
I do a lot of
for
stuff.
the people. Just for the
I do a
people.
lot of stuff. So
Okay.
a lot of people know me from real estate.
Okay.
I wholesale, I fix and flip houses. I also own a lot of rental properties here in California, Alabama, Miami, Georgia.
Okay.
And then aside from that, I own a piece of a marketing and media company in Arizona.
Fire.
And then I own self-made training facility with my daughter.
Right. Okay.
I have a funding company. I mean, I do all kinds of stuff. People know me as the multiple streams of income advocate.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
and how old are you? I know you're young.
I'm 38, bro.
Only 38.
38, yeah.
Now, so how much are you pulling a year?
Oh yeah, you'll use my
got
phone.
proof?
Yeah. Let me get my camera down.
Hold on. We got.
I was ready for you. I was ready
the
for
whole
you.
crew.
We've been doing over 20 million a year for the last couple of years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had a picture. I'll show you.
Hell yeah, no, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Let's see this first. I just want to say this is an honor because this is, you know, one of Kris's first interviews, right? So it's
Yeah.
like,
I appreciate
this is an
it.
honor.
I just try to stay low key, bro, to be honest. Like I'm on Instagram and stuff, but like people hit me up all the time for podcasts and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't really get all the like vanity metrics measuring everybody tries to do.
Yeah, not
but I support what you're doing with like the young entrepreneur crowd and stuff. And so I know when you show stuff like this, it motivates people.
Hell yeah.
You always have the haters too, you know what I mean?
Of course.
I'll show you another month. Yeah, look.
Keep it on there.
1.8 million that month, 1.3 million this month.
You can see that for sure?
So I mean, this is like one of my main businesses. I have a lot of little side hustles. And I do 7 figures a year just in rental income too, from rental properties and stuff. So.
That's crazy. So like, okay, you weren't born into this, right? This is something you built from the ground up, or?
Right. Yeah. No, I grew up like dirt poor, typical, you know, same story everybody has, rags to riches, right? Homeless, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more. But can we get a tour?
Yeah,
Let's
go.
go.
It's like MTV Cribs. Welcome to my crib.
She said, running back. Say you like that.
We could talk about what it costs to own and operate this thing too.
Yeah, let's talk about
Because that's the real flex, bro. This is it. This is the back of the boat.
Okay.
This is the best
Alright.
part to kick it at when the boat's going fast because it doesn't get too wavy right here.
Okay.
I'll take you guys on the inside first. Captain Matt, what's this area called?
This is called the salon.
This is called the salon.
The salon, okay.
You know we gotta have the Rolls Royce stars up in there.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
Oh, what? This is like the kitchen area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They call it the galley.
Oh,
This,
wow.
I don't ever go right here because he drives the boat, but I think this is sexy though. This looks
this.
bitchin'.
Look at this. Look at this,
The
Marlon.
helm right here.
Yeah. You know when you get in people's like Lambos and they start them up and the dash looks all dope?
This is that right there.
This is that right there.
Oh, damn. You got a whole downstairs?
Oh yeah. No, this is a real boat.
Oh, what? Is that the master or what?
No, Master's right here.
Oh,
So I'll give you a quick tour. Yeah,
Let's
okay.
see what's going on over here.
So this is like a guest room.
Damn. This is
Yeah,
fire.
check it out. We got a full shower and everything in here. Then right here behind you.
Have you guys slept in here yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a little bunk bed area for the kids.
There's bunk beds right there.
Or not bunk beds, but like side-by-side beds in another bathroom.
Let me see how that looks.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, what? Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is where the magic happens.
Oh, what? You got a little couch?
Oh yeah, it's big in here.
Oh, you got a couch in your master bedroom
Yeah,
on
we
your
got
boat.
The Rolls Royce stars,
And the Tempur-Pedic?
Tempur-Pedic, the whole 9 yards.
This is fire.
Yeah. powder room for wifey.
This is
So you can do the makeup and have all the everywhere,
yeah.
you know? Okay.
man?
Sam, pleasure. So you're the captain of the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there you go. Sir. Yes, sir. Let me
cameo?
know if we have Kristen inside too.
Hey, let's go to the roof.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you, man.
Thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh, what?
This is my favorite part of the boat.
Baby, you bad, you don't even know it. We both have a past, yeah, we've been heartbroken. You can let your
All right, bro,
guard
don't
down.
fall. We're going to the front.
Ah.
Okay.
Damn. This is one of my favorite spots to chill at too, actually.
Yeah, this is dope.
So what you want to know?
All right, so it's
2.3-ish.
2.3-ish. What's the operating expenses on this?
That's what everybody wants to know. And that's what separates the big dogs from the little dogs is
Okay.
owning these things, right? So give you a quick breakdown off the top of my head. So the payment's about $17,000 a month.
17,000.
Which, by the way, you don't want to buy these things cash because people are always like, why didn't you buy it cash if you got so much money, right? I put my money into real estate.
Yeah.
This is for fun, and there's some good tax advantages and stuff like that with it. So you don't want to buy it cash, right?
Yeah.
So about $17,000 a month for the payment.
How much do you have to put down?
Close to $1 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So close to $1 million out of pocket, $17,000 a month down. You guys met Captain Matt and Kris. He's about $10,000 a month on a salary. It's my full-time captain.
Okay.
So even though that's $10,000 a month, it always comes out to be more because, like the other day, we had to replace 2 batteries. Like he handles everything for me, washing it, cleaning it, So say $12,000 a month total for Captain Matt. Then to dock the boat here in Newport Beach is about $8,000 a month. Yeah, it adds up, right?
You can live on the boat, right? If you want to. Like just,
yeah, it's 3 bedrooms. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got the payment, we got the captain, we got the dock. Then we got maintenance. You know, monthly maintenance, right around $3,000. It fluctuates throughout the year, depending on how much we're using the boat, whether we're chartering it or not. But about $3,000 a month would be a good average. And then that's just the cost of owning it, right? Then you got the cost of operating it.
Yeah.
So to fill it up with gas is about $8,000 roughly.
$8,000. How long would that last you?
This thing burns like 60 gallons an hour when you're like booking it.
Yeah.
But if you're just cruising like this, like way less.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Like right now we're just cruising, so we're not wasting a lot of fuel.
This is crazy, bro.
But yeah, but if I'm like, yo, let's go to Mexico, it's gonna be 30, 40 G's to go to Mexico, right?
Okay.
So it depends how far you take it. But yeah. So you know, 50, 60,000 a month to own and operate this thing. And it could be more if you start chartering it out. So I don't really charter it like only here and there. It's mainly just for me, friends, family, business, clients, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate the tour, man. But
appreciate it.
38 years old, you got a $2.3 million boat. I mean, it probably wasn't always this easy from the start because you told me you started from nothing, zero, and now you have all these things working for you. Like, give me a little bit about that background, like how you started.
So I dropped out of high school, 9th grade. To this day, I don't got no education, no GED, no nothing.
Damn, for real?
For real.
Oh.
Yeah, I grew up really poor. We were living in hotels. I grew up in downtown Ontario in the hood. But anyways, got my first job. It was selling tools over the phone.
Okay,
right?
1 sec. We have to move for the lighting, y'all. So go ahead. You have no degrees, no diplomas, nothing.
No diploma.
Okay.
Dropped out of high school in 9th grade. First job I got was selling tools over the phone, telemarketing.
How old were you?
I was 15.
15? Okay.
I remember it specifically. I was looking for a job in the newspaper. This was before Craigslist. This was before YouTube,
Yeah,
right?
that's crazy.
I was like in the actual newspaper looking for a job.
Yeah.
The ad said, "Hi, my name's Stupid Joe. I make $2,000 a week talking on the phone. If you're half as stupid as I am, you can make $1,000 a week."
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm dumb. I called them, right?
Yeah.
Got the job selling tools. Did that for 4 or 5 years. Started my own business doing the same thing at 20. And then on my 21st birthday, a year later, I went out of business. I filed bankruptcy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was young. I just, I was really good at the job, but I was not good at business.
Well, how much were you pulling in that first job?
At that time, I was probably making like maybe $200,000 a year.
Okay.
So I wasn't like killing it, but this is a long time ago too.
Yeah.
I'm 38 now. It's 20 back then, right?
200K back then was pretty good.
Yeah, so I got the name Kris the Shark. I was breaking all kinds of records in the sales world. So like most people don't know me today as a sales guy.
Gotcha.
People that follow me on social now, they think of me as like a real estate guy or a business owner or whatever. But I actually got my chops in sales. I was really good in sales. So, but yeah, took the talent, started the business, failed hard, struggle. Then once I kind of figured it out a little bit, I was working with a parent company at the time that was like fulfilling all the orders we were selling for my business.
Right. So is this like after you went bankrupt?
This is after I went bankrupt. I started again, selling and hustling. I ended up basically merging with the parent company. That was the first thing that, you know, put me on, so to speak.
Got you.
And we grew that company together to $20 million a year. And I exited that company.
So when you say the parent company, can you, just for the viewers that don't know what that is.
Okay, so
what is that exactly?
I had a team of like 200 sales reps, basically, between multiple employees and divisions and things like that. So my company's core was selling, right?
Yeah.
But all the products that we sold, we had a parent company that housed the products, shipped the products, billed the customers, and paid us. So it was like a relationship. You know, my crew got so big that we were basically making up most of their revenue.
Yeah.
And so the owner he was my old mentor at the time and a friend of mine. He came to me and said, hey, like, why don't we just merge? Like, he was like, you're young, you got the energy and the talent. He was older, he had the money and the know-how.
Yeah.
So we merged, and at the time we went from 10 million a year to 12, 15, 20, and then we were just doing 20 year after year for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I got out of that.
So and when you guys were making $20 million in sales, what was like your percentage or take home with that?
I was taking home about, like, on a bad year it'd be like $1 million. There's 3 of us, right? And on a good year it'd be like 1.2, 1.3.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And this was, you know, I was in my late 20s. I was doing well, but then I started getting into real estate and other stuff. And then I don't know, things just changed after a while. Like, my partners were getting older. They wanted to go out. I was still hustling. So we kind of parted ways. I exited that, took off into real estate and everything that I do now.
Okay. How much real estate did you have while you were still in that company before you quit?
I had about 4 houses back then, but they were here in California. So that's like, you know, $300,000-400,000 a house, plus my house that I lived in. It was more of a hobby at that point. It wasn't a full-time gig, you know? Once I started flipping, then it started kind of like taking me away a little bit more, you know? And at the end of the day, it just came down to my freedom, because even though I had a good thing going with the telemarketing, you know, there was 3 of us, we didn't see eye to eye, I was working all day, every day. I couldn't just go live my life and do my thing.
Exactly,
you know?
You couldn't spend time with your fam, friends, it's just work. Now, when you did quit, did you have any money saved, or was it all in real estate, or how was that?
Yeah, when I left, I had a little bit of money saved, and I had, like, I was already a millionaire. Yeah, I was already a millionaire, put it that way.
Are you able to say it on camera?
Like, at the time when I left that business, liquid, I had over $1 million, and I owned probably about $2 million maybe worth of property.
Got you, okay.
So the big change was social media, right? Which you're familiar with that. Like, me, by nature, I was always anti-social media. Like, I was the guy that used to tell my wife, like, don't be posting on Facebook, I don't want people to know where we're at. I didn't have an Instagram or nothing. And then I finally,
it's an adjustment. No,
I finally got on Instagram and I started watching and learning stuff. And then one day I was sitting on the couch with my wife and we were watching some real estate guru that was throwing an event, and I told her, I was like, I feel like I could do this.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, not to be like whatever, but I was like, I make more money than this fool. Like, I could probably help a lot of people if I start putting content out, right? So I started, you know, just doing my thing on Instagram. My account was private. I took it off private, started building my thing. And then about a year later, we threw our first event to teach people how to get into real estate.
Now, how old were you when you're doing this shift, this transition? Was this like early 36?
Nah, it's younger than that. 34 maybe, yeah. I'm 30, it's like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 33, yeah.
Okay, so it's new, huh? Fairly.
The big money's new, yeah. I mean, I was already doing quite well for a long time, but after I left the tool thing, it just went.
Wow, okay. So you're telling me after you left, it's the real estate and then the events, and you're a coach, you're a mentor as well, right? You help other people.
Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. I have my hands in everything.
Okay, so that's what propelled you to the next level.
Yeah, and then I just kept buying real estate because, you know, at the end of the day, like, you can make a bunch of money, but you got to do something with it. You know? So it's like, owning real estate is great. There's a lot of guys online that teach a lot of different strategies. My personal strategy is to kind of do a mixture of all of it. Like, I own property here in California where you get the big, huge appreciation gains. I have property in Miami, same thing. Yeah. But then I have a load of houses like in Alabama and in other places, right?
Do you have any houses in Cleveland or Ohio?
I used to.
Yeah?
I don't now.
Why not?
I had 120 apartments.
Damn. Okay.
And it was in, it wasn't Cleveland. I had them in Columbus. And I had them in Canton, Ohio, which I never even been there.
Okay.
But I got out of the apartment game. I didn't really like it, to be honest.
Why is that?
Apartments is a different animal. Typically, you need lots of partners. You know, like you don't really go buy like a 50-unit apartment building by yourself. You know, usually it takes 3 or 4 people collectively to do it, and with partnerships comes arguments and difference of opinion on things. The other reason I didn't like apartments is because the exit. You know, like if you own an apartment building and you're going to sell it, who's going to buy it? It's going to be another investor.
Yeah.
And what do investors like? Discounts, deals, right?
Yeah.
I like houses because if I wake up and I decide I want to sell 10 of my houses, I just sell them retail for top dollar to a husband and wife that walk in and fall in love with the kitchen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a different animal, and I can do it on my own without having to have a bunch of partners. Not that I have anything against partners. I have a lot of partners in other businesses and like joint venture things that I do. But with my financial future of owning real estate, I like to be the one in control of it because my plan is to just keep stacking property and never sell it.
Yeah.
I want to die and leave it to the kids and that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
All my property together values close to 40 million.
Hold on.
Look
A whole
at
tax return?
gross profit. 20,900,000.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's good.
Gross profit. That's the number that matters.
Okay.
20,937,000.
gosh.
This is 21.
That's crazy.
22's taxes are being finalized as we speak. Everybody's always on extension with taxes, right?
What would be your advice to people? Like, because I want to know like your mindset during that 9th grade you dropped out. Like, you knew what to do next, or you're just like, oh. Like,
Nah, I wish I could tell you that like I just had this like strong like, oh, I'm gonna become a millionaire, but at the time we were just super poor and we didn't have a car and I couldn't get to school.
Yeah.
And so I kept getting suspended for missing school too much. So they called me in one day and they're like, we're gonna expel you if you can't get figured out. And so right there I was like, I'm done, you know. I was like, I'm just gonna go get a job and help my family. That's where my head was at the time.
Okay, so you
get a
just wanted to
job
make
to
money
help
and
moms
take
and
it,
dad out, right?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the tool business was a decade-long journey. So it definitely wasn't like I just figured it out and took off.
Maybe there's some kids out there that just dropped out of high school, right? I'm not telling people to drop out of school, but like, what is your advice to someone that's like, yo, this is the situation that we're in. Like, what skill set should they, like, yours was sales. So it's like, would you advise them to do something in sales?
You know, it's hard to say, right? Because like sales is one of those things that like, it's hard to teach somebody if they don't have it in them. So it starts with identifying what your strengths are. Like for me, my strength's sales. My weakness is marketing. Like to this day, like I'm not a techie guy. Like Yuli does all my media. I can't even work my computer, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel
so it starts with what are you good at? What are you comfortable with? But after that, in today's day and age, we have the era of social media, right?
Yes.
Like I didn't have that. Like I had to just go get a job and figure it out. But nowadays, you can hop on Instagram or YouTube, right? And get tons of free content, look at different opportunities and just try to find one that's a good fit for you. My advice would be find the first gig or whatever it's gonna be and nail it, right? It's funny because people come to me all the time and they're like, yo, Kris, like, how do you have all these businesses and do all these things? Don't you get distracted, right?
Yeah.
So my answer is I always tell them, look, if you try to chase 5 rabbits, you're not going to catch any, right? So the first thing you got to do is nail down one stream of income good. Then you got to build a team. Once you can delegate, now you can go do whatever you want.
That's the key part, right?
I can chase 5 rabbits because I got a whole team of chasing rabbits with me, you know what I'm saying? So that's the part that people look at online and they think they could just fast forward and get to it. But usually you got to nail down one thing first, make your money, build your team, build your crew. And then once you got a little bit of money and a little bit of, you know, maybe some staff and some help, you can start diversifying into multiple things.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you juggle too many things at once, you're not going to get anything done. It's going to be 50% this, 50% that.
Yeah.
So if you get 110% on one thing, you build that up, delegate, like build the operations, make it, you know, build the systems, then
you can't do it alone.
Or what is advice you could give for somebody to be ultra successful, hyper success?
All I could share is what works for me, right? Like, I see a lot of these guys like on Instagram and YouTube and they're like telling these young kids like work-life balance is a myth, you need to be obsessed, you need to grind, you need to do this, this and that. Like for me, that's never worked, right? So I'm not saying that my way is right because there's multiple ways to skin a cat, right? Like if I'm holding a quarter, you see tails, I see heads, but we're both looking at 2 different sides of the same coin. So what works for me is the opposite of that. I gotta stay balanced, right? So I try to break up my day. I think of it like in 3 buckets, right? So I got my morning bucket, which is from the moment I open my eyes till the time I get to the office. It's a few hours. During those few hours, that's my morning time. I get up, I typically journal, I have my coffee, typically about 6. Okay. I don't get up like at 3 in the morning or nothing crazy.
That's the time I sleep.
Yeah. So those first few hours, I'm on my morning mode. So I'm not checking emails and texts or anything like that. I'm just like doing my routine, right?
And you journal, you said?
I journal,
every day?
Not every day, but I say at least 4 days a week.
Can you tell some of the benefits of journaling?
For me, it just helps me gather my thoughts and keep them organized. Sometimes it's as simple as just jotting out my to-do list, you know? Sometimes it's, you know, manifesting my goals. Sometimes it's writing down lists of that's bothering me so I can just get it on paper and get like a clear plan of what I'm gonna do about it, right?
No, for sure, yeah.
So I don't spend like hours and hours on it. Typically like 15, 20 minutes while I'm drinking my coffee, I'm either journaling, meditating, or just zoning out, just getting ready for my day, but I'm not distracted with work stuff, right? So that's bucket number one.
Okay.
Then when I get to work, now I'm in the work bucket. I get to work at 9 in the morning and I'm out by 1. So I'm only at work like 4 hours a day, right? Sometimes even less than that.
Yeah.
So while I'm there, I'm hyper focused. Like I'm locked in, handling clients, handling this, talking to my staff, whatever it is I got to do, right? Then this is where it gets challenging. The third bucket is the home life bucket. So when I get home, I have 2 kids. One's grown up, but the other one's, you know, a baby, right? She's like going to be 4 years old. I have a wife. I have a life, right? So when I get home, I'm on family time, and my goal is to try to not intermingle those buckets, right?
Yeah, mix all
and it's challenging. Sometimes I get like everybody else, and I'm working, you know?
Yeah.
And I got to take a step back and think of my 3 buckets. I'm like, I'm on family time. I got to get off this phone, because if I start getting obsessed or too much work or too much whatever, I actually get less done. It starts consuming me. So it took me, by the way, like a decade to figure this out for me, right?
It's not like a one-day type thing.
No, I didn't just hear this on YouTube and had it all figured out either one day. So I had to go through it for years and years of overworking, overstressing, to finally I realized, hey, less is more for me. That's what works for me. So that would be some advice I could share with someone on their journey is don't think that you have to struggle and sacrifice and work in 100 hours a day to go get rich. It's not a race, right? It's more of a marathon than a sprint.
True,
you know?
Go at your own pace, right?
There you go,
Everyone's different. And I think it's important that you share that, because sharing a balance like that, because I'm assuming you have a great relationship with your wife, your kids, your family, and then work and whatnot. And a lot of people only have a relationship with one thing, whether that's work, or family, or whatever.
Man,
right?
you nailed it.
You manage everything, and I think that's important that you share, because a lot of people are just on one thing and that's it. But hey, if you're single and you're just doing it and you're just trying to chase it, I get it, you know?
Yeah, I get it too. If you're single, you got no kids, no nothing, and you got nothing better to do, but you don't want to neglect your health either.
100%,
you know, because you could be working and letting yourself go physically, you know? And to add to what you said about the great relationships, like I've been married almost 13 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And you know, I'm a family man, I do my thing, but I'm very good at staying balanced, because I know that if something happens to me, it's going to affect everybody, you know? So for that reason alone, I got to stay balanced, and I can't, you know, overstress and that type of thing, you know?
Yeah, guys and girls, that's the definition of a man that's doing it all, but having it balanced. So this is where you want to get to, right?
Thanks, man.
Family, wife, kids, businesses thriving, you know? That's dope. So what are some other things that you're involved in besides, you know, all the businesses and whatnot?
So one thing I'm super involved in is working with charity. I work with a charity called the Teddy Bear Cancer Foundation. Full disclaimer, okay? I don't own this charity. It's not my nonprofit. This is not a money play. This is just something I'm involved in. And I say that because every time I post on social, like if I donate money or something, I got the people blasting me like, oh, it's his organization. It's not. It's just something I have a passion for. The Teddy Bear Cancer Foundation in Santa Barbara, California, shout out to them. I work with them closely. I donate 6 figures a year, you know? This year I'm their sponsor at the gala they're having in October. But I have a passion for it because, you know, like, you don't have no kids, right?
No kids.
So
not yet.
A lot of your listeners probably have kids. A lot of your listeners probably have kids, and there's nothing more devastating than finding out your kids got cancer.
Oh, man.
And when that happens, what happens to the parents is they end up basically living at the hospital. They lose their jobs. They shut down. And they battle with their kids until ultimately the kid either survives or not, right? So this organization that I work with, what they do is they step in and they provide all the financial aid for the parents to pay their bills, keep their cars paid, you know, make sure there's food, make sure they don't lose all their stuff, basically, while they're dealing with their situation. So something I'm proud to be a part of. If any of your followers or any of them want to get involved, we're always looking for people to help out. You can share the link with them. They're a really great organization.
We'll put the link in the description below. That's awesome.
You tell me I'm someone you want. You tell me I'm something you need. But baby, you know that I'm bad for you, yeah. Why you gotta be so naive? If I treat you like one I don't want,